You walk past your aquarium. You expect to see your fish swimming around, exploring, doing what fish do, but they're not there. You look again, you search the tank, and then you find them, tucked behind a plant, wedged under a rock, pressed against the back glass in the darkest corner of the aquarium, hiding. Most fish owners notice this once or twice and don't think much of it. Fish hide sometimes, that's just what they do. You move on with your day. But here's the truth that almost no owner is told. When a fish hides all day, every day, they're not being shy. They're not just resting. They're not having a quiet moment. They are telling you something. And it might be one of the most important messages a fish can send to their owner. There is a real, scientifically grounded reason your fish is hiding. And depending on what's actually going on, that hiding behavior can mean a dozen completely different things. Some completely normal, some that need immediate attention, and one thing, toward the end, will explain something that might be happening in your tank right now that almost every fish owner misses until it's too late. So stay with me until then, because this matters more than people realize. Let's start with what your fish is actually telling you.
1. Your water quality is wrong. Here's the first thing you need to understand. What a fish hides all day, the single most common reason is water quality. And specifically, something invisible is happening in your tank that your fish can feel, but you cannot see. Fish live entirely inside their water. Every breath they take, every nutrient they absorb, every signal they receive about their environment comes through the water around them. To a fish, water quality isn't a detail, it's everything. When that water becomes unbalanced, even slightly, your fish notices immediately. The most common culprits are ammonia and nitrite. Both of these are toxic byproducts produced by fish waste, uneaten food, and decaying matter in the tank. In a healthy aquarium, beneficial bacteria break these down quickly, but in a tank that's overstocked, underfiltered, or recently disturbed, ammonia and nitrite can spike to dangerous levels. To your fish, this feels like breathing toxic air. Their natural response is to find the part of the tank where they feel safest. Often, that means hiding behind decorations, under plants, or against the glass where water flow may be slightly different. If your fish has suddenly started hiding more than usual, the first thing every responsible owner should do is test the water. A simple aquarium test kit can show you ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, and pH levels in just a few minutes. Studies on fish stress behavior have repeatedly shown that water quality is the #1 cause of unusual hiding patterns. Long before your fish shows physical signs of illness, they will hide as a warning. This is your fish's most direct way of saying, something feels wrong in here, and I can't tell you with words. Listen to it. Test your water, adjust as needed. Your fish isn't being dramatic. They're surviving in the only way they know how.
2. They're stressed by something in their environment. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Sometimes the water is perfect, the temperature is right, everything looks normal, and yet your fish still hides. That usually means stress. Fish experience stress just like dogs, cats, and humans do. But because they cannot vocalize, shake, or run, the only behavior available to them is to retreat into hiding. The list of stress triggers in an aquarium is longer than most owners realize. Bright overhead lighting that runs too many hours per day, a tank placed near a window with direct sunlight, sudden movements outside the glass, a dog or cat that keeps pressing their face against the tank, loud music, children running by repeatedly, a new piece of decor that arrived suddenly, a change in the room's ambient temperature. To a fish, the world outside the tank is enormous and unpredictable. What you see as a normal living room can feel like a chaotic theater of giant shapes and unfamiliar sounds to your fish. And when that chaos becomes overwhelming, hiding is their only escape. This is also why fish often hide more right after you move the aquarium, rearrange the decorations, or do a major water change. The familiar landmarks of their world have shifted, and they need time to recalibrate.
If your fish has started hiding after any environmental change, even a small one you didn't think mattered, that's likely the cause. Give them time. Reduce the disturbances. Make the room calmer, the lights softer, the movements gentler. Your fish isn't being dramatic. They're processing a world they can't escape from. The only thing they can do is find the quietest, darkest corner and wait for things to feel safe again. That isn't fear. That's intelligence trapped behind glass. And hey, if any of this is making you look at your aquarium a little differently right now, hit that like button and subscribe. It's the best way to help us reach more fish owners who actually want to understand what their fish is trying to say. We've got more sections coming, and the last few might genuinely change the way you care for your tank. Let's keep going. 3. They feel threatened by another fish. Here's something every owner with multiple fish needs to take seriously. Sometimes when a fish hides all day, the problem isn't water, it isn't environment, it's another resident of the same tank. Fish have complex social hierarchies. Many species establish territory, dominance, and order in ways that humans can't easily see from the outside. To you, your tank just looks like a peaceful community. To the fish inside it, there might be an entire silent battle happening every single day. A dominant fish will often claim the best areas of the tank, the most food, and the most attention. The other fish are forced into smaller spaces, less food, and more hiding. You can usually identify a bullied fish by their behavior. They appear thin or smaller than the others. They have clamped fins. They eat less, or only eat from the corners while the dominant fish feeds first. They flinch when other fish approach. They spend most of their day in hiding spots. This is one of the most overlooked causes of fish hiding. Owners often assume their tank is harmonious because there's no visible aggression. But fish can intimidate each other through posture, fin displays, and territorial control without ever physically fighting. If you notice one specific fish hiding constantly while others swim freely, watch the tank carefully for several days. Pay attention to who controls the central swimming space, who eats first, and who approaches whom. You may discover that your peaceful tank has a quiet bully. The solutions are usually simple. Add more hiding spots, rearrange the decor to break sight lines. In serious cases, separate the bullied fish into a different tank where they can finally relax. Your fish isn't being weak. They're surviving a situation they cannot escape. And the moment you recognize what's happening, you become the only one who can change it for them. 4. They might be sick and they're hiding to recover. Now here's something every fish owner needs to take seriously. In the wild, a sick fish that swims around openly becomes an easy target for predators. So fish evolved an instinct that still exists in your aquarium today. When they don't feel well, they hide. This is one of the earliest signs of illness in fish, and it usually appears long before any physical symptoms become visible. By the time you notice spots, fin damage, or unusual coloration, the underlying problem has often been developing for days or weeks. Fish hide when they're recovering from injury, fighting off infection, dealing with parasites, or experiencing digestive issues. They hide when their immune system is under stress, when they have internal swelling you can't see, or when they simply feel weak. To them, hiding isn't avoidance, it's medicine. The act of staying still in a sheltered area allows them to conserve energy, reduce exposure to potential threats, and focus their body's resources on healing. If your fish has suddenly started hiding more than usual, even when nothing has changed in the tank, take a careful look at them. Look for clamped fins, unusual breathing patterns, pale coloration, white spots, frayed edges, swelling, or any visible changes in their body. Also check their behavior closely. A sick fish often loses interest in food. They may rest on the bottom of the tank, hover near the surface, or sit motionless in one spot for hours at a time. This is not said to scare you. Most hiding is normal, but the fish whose behavior has suddenly changed is a fish asking you to look more carefully. The owners who notice these early signs are the ones whose fish recover. The ones who dismiss it as just a quiet day often realize only later that something serious was happening all along. Your fish cannot tell you they don't feel well, but their body language can. The question is whether you know how to read it. 5. They're a species that naturally prefers hiding. Here's something that might surprise you. Not all hiding is concerning. In fact, some species of fish hide all day as part of their natural behavior, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Many fish that exist in the home aquarium hobby come from environments where hiding is normal. Cave dwellers, bottom feeders, nocturnal species, fish from densely planted habitats, fish from dark, muddy rivers where sunlight rarely reaches the bottom. For these species, hiding isn't a stress response, it's just how they live. Plecos, coulee loaches, hill stream loaches, certain catfish species, and many cichlids spend most of their daylight hours tucked into caves, under driftwood, or buried in substrate. They are designed for it. Their bodies, their eyes, their behaviors are all adapted to low-light environments where staying hidden is the natural state. If you own a species like this and they are hiding, that's not a problem. That's them being themselves. The mistake many owners make is comparing their fish to active species like guppies, tetras, or goldfish, which swim openly all day. When their hidden species behaves differently, owners worry, but the comparison is unfair. A pleco hiding behind driftwood for 14 hours a day is the equivalent of a cat sleeping in the closet, completely normal, completely healthy, just how that animal works. Before assuming something is wrong, research the species you own. Find out what their natural behavior actually looks like. You may discover that your fish isn't hiding at all. They're simply living the way their ancestors lived for millions of years before they ever swam into your home. And that's something worth understanding, not changing.
6. They don't have enough hiding spots. Now this is something most beginner fish owners have never heard about. Counterintuitively, fish that have plenty of hiding spots often hide less than fish that have none. This sounds wrong, but it's been studied extensively in aquarium science. Here's why. When a fish has access to multiple hiding spots, they feel safe knowing they can retreat at any moment. That sense of security allows them to swim out, explore, eat, and behave naturally. The presence of hiding spots doesn't increase hiding, it reduces stress. But when a fish has nowhere to hide, their entire nervous system stays on high alert. They feel exposed every second of the day. Their natural instinct to seek shelter has no outlet, and the constant low-level stress eventually shows up as either non-stop swimming, fin clamping, loss of appetite, or, ironically, hiding in whatever tiny corner they can find. If your tank is mostly open water with no decorations, no plants, no caves, your fish may be hiding because they're desperate for any sense of security. The solution is the opposite of what most owners assume. Instead of removing decorations to expose the fish, add more. Live or artificial plants in different heights, caves and tunnels appropriate for your fish's size, rocks arranged to create natural shelter zones, driftwood that creates shaded areas. Anything that breaks up the open swimming space and gives your fish options. You'll often notice an immediate change. Within days, fish that have been hiding constantly start swimming open because they finally know that if something feels wrong, they can disappear. Safety doesn't make fish hide more. Safety makes them brave enough to come out.
7. When the hiding becomes a serious warning sign. Now here's the part of this video every fish owner needs to hear carefully. And this might be the most important section. While hiding is usually a normal or solvable behavior, there are situations where it becomes a serious warning that requires immediate action. The warning signs are these. Your fish is hiding constantly and has stopped eating completely. They are gasping at the surface or rapidly opening their gills. Their body is leaning sideways, floating awkwardly, or sinking when not actively swimming. Their color has dramatically changed, becoming pale, dark, or patchy. They have visible spots, lumps, frayed fins, ulcers, or any unusual growths. They are bloated, sunken, or appear different in shape than usual. If any of these symptoms appear alongside hiding, you are likely dealing with a serious medical issue. Fish health can decline rapidly, sometimes within hours. Common causes include severe ammonia poisoning, advanced parasites, internal bacterial infections, fungal infections, organ failure, swim bladder disease, and in rare cases, contamination from outside the tank. Here's what to do. First, immediately test your water. Even if you tested recently, test again. Look at ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, pH, and temperature. If anything is off, address it. Second, observe your fish closely. Note exactly what symptoms are appearing. Write them down. Take a picture if needed. Third, isolate the sick fish if possible. Move them to a hospital tank or quarantine tank where you can treat them without affecting the rest of your tank. Fourth, research the symptoms or consult an aquarium specialist. Many fish illnesses are treatable when caught early, but treatments differ depending on the cause. This is not said to alarm you. Most hiding is completely normal, but the fish whose behavior has changed dramatically and is accompanied by physical symptoms is a fish asking for your help. Owners who act fast are the ones who save their fish. Owners who wait, hoping it will resolve on its own, often realize too late that early action could have made all the difference. Your fish trusts you with their entire world. The least you can do is pay attention when something has gone wrong. If this video helped you understand your fish on a deeper level, drop a comment below and tell me about your fish. Do they hide a little, a lot, or not at all? What species do you have? I read every single comment. And if you want to keep learning how to read your fish like never before, subscribe to this channel. New videos every week, helping you understand what your fish has been trying to tell you all along. So the next time you look into your aquarium and notice your fish tucked behind a plant or wedged into a corner, take a moment. Don't just shrug. Don't just assume they're being weird. Don't just walk away. Look at them. Notice where they're hiding. Notice how long they stay there. Notice what's happening in the tank around them. Notice whether their breathing seems calm or rapid, whether their body posture seems relaxed or tense, whether they come out when food appears or stay tucked away even then. Because in that small, quiet behavior, your fish is doing the only thing they can do to communicate with you. They are telling you about their world, their water, their stress, their health, their needs. They are sending a message that requires no words, just attention. That hiding behavior isn't random. It isn't laziness. It isn't just a quirk. It is one of the most direct forms of communication a fish has, and the owners who learn to listen to it are the ones whose fish thrive. So tonight, look at your aquarium with new eyes. Watch your fish closely. Notice the patterns you may have been missing for months. Because while you have been living your busy life, your fish has been quietly trying to tell you something the whole time. You just didn't know what to look for. Now you do.